Hello, beautiful souls. We're back for another episode of Follow Your Heart podcast and a YouTube video. I put it on both platforms, so if you don't see it on YouTube, you'll see it on my podcast, vice versa. So it's been a while since I have put up some content, at least it feels that way, at least like a month, and it's been a lot, let me tell you. And I'm sure many of you are feeling this collective energy, and also it's a lot internally. I'm going through my Saturn return, which I thought, I'm good, I've done all the work, blah, blah, blah. Yep, no, this is a lot of realignment, getting me on my path again. So what I want to share with you today is intuition. It comes up a lot, and there's many friends, even on the spiritual path, we all know about intuition, but it's a matter of listening to it. And I recognized in myself, reflecting on my last 6 months, as some of you may know through following me on social media on Instagram, I was in a beautiful relationship for 6 months. And it was very expansive in many ways. And I also noticed myself being in a place where I was really surrendering into my feminine, but also at the same time feeling overpowered by his masculine. And so I let go of a lot of the masculine being a lot of the logic. I let go of a lot of the things that brought me to him and brought me to this beautiful place, being in Nicaragua. I followed my intuition to the T all the way up to this meeting with him. And as our relationship developed, I noticed myself dimming down my intuition because it wasn't backed by logic, and he was very much in the masculine as I was very much embodying my feminine at the time, which was new for me. And so I started to shut down my intuition, not listen to it or her, my higher, wisest self. And I didn't realize it, but I had put a lot of opportunities on hold and a lot of progression and a lot of possibilities, just kind of in this phase of confusion and waiting. And this was, I believe, reflecting on it, there was a reason for this, for me to slow down with my business and with social media and working with clients and all those things. But one of the big things that I had stopped doing was listening to my intuition. So let's talk about intuition, how you listen to it. One of the things that helped me a lot, and I've shared this before, is human design. In human design, there's something called the inner authority or the decision-making authority. This is how our intuition speaks to us individually. And there are quite a few different types. Very commonly, like if you're a generator or a manifesting generator, you might be a sacral, because generators and manifesting generators are run by that sacral authority very commonly, that gives them that life force energy. You may also be an emotional authority. So for emotional authority, if that applies to you, you're listening to your emotions. You ride the emotional wave until you come to that neutral point. For me, I'm sacral. I'm spleen. And my spleen is very instant, yes or no. I have one chance to listen to it. It's a very soft yes or no. And after that, it goes away. So I have to listen. So those are just some examples of different types of intuition speaking to you according to human design. If you don't know much about it, look it up. You can get a free chart online, and I'll share with you the basics, your type, which is like manifesting generator, projector, reflector, manifestor. And then I'm actually a manifestor if you're familiar. And then also you can look at within that same chart for free. If you go to like Jovian Archive or mybodygraph.com, those are two great sites that are free, and it'll tell you exactly what your type is and what your inner authority or decision-making authority is. Same thing, just different names for it. That is how your intuition speaks to you. And it's an experimentation process to learn about your intuition and how it's speaking to you, and to build confidence and trust in your intuition, which is quite ironic, right? Because intuition is here to guide you to your highest good and your wisest self, but yet still, because we've been taught to operate in our logic, if things don't make sense but they feel right and we don't listen, then it's like, oh, well, it's because of XYZ, versus just not blindly, but trusting in the wisdom within yourself of the unknown, and trusting in the universe that it's going to guide you to the thing that's for the highest good for you and all involved. That's what the intuition's there to do. And when we follow logic, it interferes with that, because our brain may not justify something because it does not make sense, the logical mind, but in our body, we may feel it. And that's exactly what the inner authority is doing. It's showing us in our body physically how the intuition comes through. So if it's a feeling of emotion or excitement, we know, ooh, this is for me, or no, that's not for me. Or a sound, like sacral authority, it's or mm-mm. So like as something's presented to someone, do you want an apple or a banana? Someone that says an apple, I'll be like, but a banana presented to them, is like, mm-mm. Then you know, physically, your intuition speaking to you. So that's a great way. Intuition, I also would want to add in, I've talked about this before, but it's highly important because it's something, once again, I steered away from after 2 years of really being on my path of trusting in divine guidance and messaging. I really let go of that and stopped having all the messages and blocking them from my awareness, and stopped asking for guidance and help from my angels and my guides and my higher self. And now that it's back, like things are manifesting so much more quickly for me because I'm now following my intuition again. And I think I needed that time to share this with you, as like, okay, I've been, before knowing about intuition, to practicing and seeing all these things manifest, to going away from it and then coming back. When I went away, things were stagnant. They didn't feel like they were flowing. And I was like, why aren't things manifesting for me like they used to? Like before, it was like boom, boom, boom. Everything I asked for, I received, and signs and guides. And wow, the world is so magical. And my life is so magical. And then that started to dim down as I stopped listening to her, or that inner voice. And now it's coming back. And I also released what was no longer serving me, which was relationship that had an expiration date. And I'm going back into that balance of the feminine and the masculine, and listening to my intuition. So those are some examples. Once again, looking up your human design inner authority, and then also listening to your intuition can be through meditation, being in silence and really dropping in. It's nice to be able to meditate and get to the place of a void, or like your deeper state of like delta or theta state. That may require some practice to get into that void. It takes me a while. If I don't meditate consistently, it takes a while for me to get back to that void. And that's where your ego dissolves and time does not exist. And when you're in that space, or maybe you don't even have that space there, you can get to that point. You can still ask for guidance from your higher self and your intuition to lead you. So during meditation, just ask the question and release it. Okay, you're like, okay, higher self, guides, I'm feeling called to move somewhere. And I'm feeling like it's Mount Shasta or Mexico. Is this move to Mexico the best choice for me right now? And you instantly might hear yes or no, or a feeling of excitement or crying of this beautiful vision of you being in Mexico. Or maybe just like, nope, okay, then that's okay. Or if you're not sure and you hear an answer, you're not sure about it, then ask for another sign from the universe. And this is also your intuition speaking to you in a different way, speaking you through the universe. It can be, what I do is there's this beautiful butterfly that I love. It's a amorphous butterfly. It's like this big and like magnetic blue. Like I'm sure you've seen this blue that's just like so captivating. It's actually really unique to the butterfly that creates this color. And so I don't see them all the time, but when I do see them, I'm like, oh, my guides are with me. So I ask my guides for the amorphous butterfly for a sign, and sometimes I'll ask for 2 in a day if I really, really want to be specific, or maybe a common animal that I don't always see very often, or a synchronistic number like 333 coming into my awareness like 2 or 3 times out throughout the day. Those are also ways to speak to the universe as a guidance, but also I think it's your intuition. It's the combination. So that is all I have to share with you on listening to your intuition. I've shared this before and I'll keep sharing it because it's a lesson that we're all going through at different levels and depths and densities, I guess. So enjoy this wisdom, and let me know if you have any questions or experiences after listening to this. It maybe some synchronicities have happened for you, or you're able to make some big shifts in your life that put you on your path for the highest good of yourself and all involved. On that note, I love all of you. Love and blessings, and namaste. Ciao.